Good day all. You are welcome to this mathematics class. Today we will be taking quadratic equations and we will major on solving quadratic equation by factorization method. Now there are three basic steps to factorization method when solving quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is generally of this form: ax squared plus bx plus c. Now what it means is that a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant in the equation. Any equation that is of this form is said to be quadratic, even though it is a polynomial. But polynomial of degree 2 is said to be quadratic, and there are different approaches to solving it. But the approach that we are considering today in this class is solving quadratic equation using factorization method. Step number 1: find the product of the first and third terms in the quadratic equation. That is, find the product of the first and the third term. And when you do that, you move to step 2. I haven't done that. Step 2: find two terms such that their product is the same as that of the first and third term, and at the same time their sum or subtraction is the same as the second term in the equation. So we are going to look for two terms such that when we multiply them together, they are going to give us whatever this factor, whatever this term and this term would have given us. Then when we get such, we'll also get them ready. Then the step 3 is that these two terms that we got that satisfy these two conditions. The first condition is that when we multiply the product of the two terms together, they will give us the same thing as though we multiply this coefficient of x squared and this constant together. The coefficient of x squared here is the first term, the constant here is the third term. So when we multiply a times c, what it gives us, don't forget that a represents a value, c represents a value. Whatever it gives us, any two terms that gives us the same, and at the same time, when we subtract or add those two terms together, they give us the value of the second term, meaning they give us bx. They give us b. If we are using ax squared multiplied by c, then the answer should give us bx when we subtract and multiply or add. Such two terms are the terms we are looking for in factorization method. What we are going to do next, which is step 3, is to replace the second term with the two terms. Meaning we will not be using the second term again. Then the third thing is to group appropriately and factorize. We are going to take an example now. And the example we are going to take is this: factorize x squared plus 20x plus 51. Let's see the solution. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to take x squared plus 20x plus 51 as our question. We want 1x squared. Don't forget that x squared times 51 will give us 51x squared. X squared times 51 will give us 51x squared. The coefficient of x squared here is 1. That is why we're not writing anything there. Now we're looking for two numbers that when we multiply together give us 51x squared. Now, these are the two numbers to consider among several other numbers. You can consider 27x times 3x. Now, 27 times 3 is equal to 51. X times x is equals to x squared. Now, 27x times 3x perfectly fits for the first condition. Now, let's see if they also fit. Sorry, please, we mean 17, not 27, 17 rather. Let's also see if the second condition is satisfied. The second condition is either to add 17 to 3 or to subtract 17 from 3. And in this case, 17x plus 3x, 17x plus 3x equals to 20x. And 20x is the second term in this quadratic equation. So 17x and 3x satisfy 17x and 3x satisfy the condition both necessary and sufficient to be terms used in this quadratic equation. So we're going to use both to replace 20x in this equation, and it becomes x squared plus 17x plus 3x plus 51. And the next thing is to factorize appropriately. So if you consider the first two, you see that x is common to both sides. So we factor out x and we'll be left with 1x here plus what is left here is 17. Then we'll close the bracket and come to this part. 3 is common to there and 3 is in this place because 3 times 17 will give 51. So we factor 3 out and be left with x plus 17. If you do your factorization properly, what you have here is supposed to be equal to this place. Otherwise, your factors, your terms that you used are wrong. Once you have this condition also met in this case, then you pick this x plus this 3 as a factor and pick any of these two as another factor. So you have x plus 17. Now, what we have just done is that we have factorized the quadratic equation. So at this junction, you will say the factors of the quadratic equation x squared plus 20x plus 51 are, the factors are x plus 3 and x plus 17. And that will be all for now. In the next class, we will proceed further in other aspects of resolving quadratic equation. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye for now.